Good morning, ladies and gents. I hope you're all doing well. So today I thought I would do another video regarding Mr. Jonathan Joly. So I was looking at the YouTube short that he posted yesterday, where he was surprising Edie with a hard-boiled cutout of Kate Bush. Now, the thing that really wound me up with that video was I was reading through the comments and there were so many ridiculous comments from people saying, oh, Jonathan's such a great dad, you're an amazing father, don't listen to the haters, etc, etc. And I just thought to myself, like, people really need to do their research before they start trying to defend someone like him. They need to look at things properly before they actually start trying to defend someone like him. People love making out that the haters are the one in the wrong, but it's the people that are defending him that are in the wrong. This is one of the things that really winds me up more than anything, is the fact that people are constantly posting comments saying that Jonathan is such a great dad, as such an amazing father, such an amazing dad, as he does things like this for his kids. But at the end of the day, I watched the video, I've seen the video, and it didn't feel genuine at all. It didn't feel, it didn't feel real, it didn't feel genuine. All I saw was, and it was another example of how Jonathan was trying to make himself look good. And so that's what Jonathan does, is he does a lot of these things to try and make himself look good. What he's trying to do is, he's trying to prove to people that he's not as bad as he's often made out to be. He wants to show people that he's actually a decent person and that he's not, the low life that people claim that he is. But I think it's beyond too late for him to be trying to claim that he's innocent, but he ain't innocent by a long shot. I wish I could say that I thought he was innocent, but I don't see it myself. I don't see someone who comes across as innocent. I see someone that, he's trying to convince people that he's innocent, but he's not really convincing anyone of that. He's not really convincing me that he's innocent. Obviously, this is a guy who constantly uses open mouth bloody thumbnails for every video he uploads. Says a lot about him, that does. I'm not trying to be horrible here, but, someone had to say it. Someone had to make that point. Someone had to say what needed to be said. In that, Jonathan is not the innocent person he's made out to be. It's just so frustrating that it feels like people are just turning a blind eye to all of the bad things that he does. People don't ever seem to think that he's doing anything wrong. It's like people really need to get their heads out of his backside, and they need to start seeing Jonathan for who and what he really is. Because we all know what Jonathan really is. People like myself can see Jonathan for who and what he really is. He's an outburst creep and a pervert, and I'll say that because it's true, especially when you think about the way that he puts his kids out there on the internet. It's just borderline disgusting and borderline repulsive. And I know he doesn't think he's doing anything wrong, but, it's hard to defend someone like that. It's hard to, it's hard to kind of, as I want to believe that Jonathan is a decent person, but I feel like we've seen too many things that prove that Jonathan really isn't a decent person at all, and he's not the good guy that he's made out to be, or that everyone makes him out to be. He's not the great, amazing father that he's always made out to be. He's just trying to prove, all he's trying to do when he does things like this, all he's trying to do is make himself look good. You know, when he surprises with his stuff or he's buying his stuff, he's just trying to make himself look good. You know, he wants people to think that he's a decent father, which is why he does these things. You know, he's trying to prove a point. He's trying to, he's trying to prove to people that he's not as bad as he's made out to be, or he's not as sinister, or he's not as sinister as he's often made out to be. But I don't think people make him out to be anything. I think he has shown, people time and time again the sort of creep that he is. You know, he's shown what sort of pervert he is with some of the things that he's done. You know, and the way and the many ways that he's put his hits out, and he's putting his hits out there online. You know, it's absolutely horrendous. You know, I mean, there's nothing good about about defending someone like Jonathan. It doesn't make people, it doesn't make people, someone a decent person if they're willing to actually defend, Jonathan Joly. You know, it's those people that are actually the ones in the wrong. You know, it's not the people that are horning Jonathan out that are in the wrong. Or it's not the people that are criticising Jonathan that are in the wrong. You know, someone jumped on me because I was basically responding to every comment, and, he was saying, the people saying that he was a great, amazing father. I was actually replying to his comments saying, no, he bloody isn't. And someone jumped to me and saying, oh, why are you saying that on every comment? Why are you jumping on every comment saying, no, he bloody isn't? And I said, I responded to that comment saying, well, basically the reason I'm responding to that to every comment saying, no, he bloody isn't, is because it's the truth. It's people, no matter how many people, how often people make him out to be a great, amazing father, it will never be true. I think they need to keep telling themselves that, because if they keep telling themselves that, one day they might actually start believing that it's true. I mean, do they really think they look good? But, do people really think that them defending Jonathan makes them look good? Because I can assure you it doesn't. It doesn't look good at all. It makes them look shameful and pathetic, the fact they're willing to defend someone like him. It doesn't make them good. It doesn't make those people decent people, because they're actually willing to they're actually willing to stick up for someone like him. It makes them the most shameful, disgusting people I've ever seen. All I can say really is shame on those people that are willing to defend Jonathan, because they are, the biggest part of the problem. They are the ones that are enabling Jonathan to do the things that he does. They are the ones who are enabling Jonathan to exploit his in the way that he does, and abuse, regardless of what anyone says, Jonathan is now but a child exploiter, child abuser, child groomer. That's what I see as a father who is exploiting, abusing, grooming, and manipulating his kids. That's what I see. I don't see when I look at Jonathan, I don't see a decent father. All I see is a pervert who is a creep and a pervert who is exploiting, abusing, grooming, and manipulating his kids. And let's also say he's sexualizing his kids a lot as well. And that's what he's doing a lot of the time, is he's sexualizing his kids, and people and deny that all they want. But we all know it's the truth. At least people like myself can actually see Jonathan Joly for who and what he really fucking is. Do you know what? I don't feel bad, for saying that Jonathan's not a decent father, and for saying that Jonathan's a creep and a pervert. I posted a lot of videos about Jonathan. And I honestly don't feel bad, about any of the things I've said in my previous videos where I've spoken about Jonathan. I don't feel bad about the fact that I call Jonathan a creep and a pervert, because we all know that that is what he is. And I can't understand it. It just frustrates me that people can't see him, that there are some people out there who can't actually see him for who and what he really is. And they can't see the fact that he's actually doing anything wrong. They can't see that, that some of the things he does are actually downright disgusting and downright inappropriate. For example, these thumbnails he uses for his videos. How can people think that it's okay for him to be using the sort of thumbnails that he uses for his videos? And I know that a lot of people say, oh, well, you're the creep if you're the one that's got a problem with it, or, whatever. But at the end of the day, the fact that the people, I mean, come on now. The people really not think it's weird how, or a little bit strange how every time Jonathan uploads a video, the video has one of these and has an open mouth thumbnail most of the time. That to me says a lot to me about the sort of person that Jonathan is, the fact that he's always using thumbnails like that. Because he's not, as I've said many times before, Jonathan is not fucking stupid. He knows exactly what he's doing when he uses thumbnails like that. He knows exactly what sort of audiences thumbnails like that will attract. He's not as fucking, he's not idiot. It's ridiculous. All Jonathan is doing constantly is exposing his to paedophiles and child predators on the internet. And he's trying, he feels like a lot of the time he's intentionally trying to do that. As much as as I'm angry at Jonathan for the things he does, you also have to shame Anna for the fact that she's okay with the things he does. She doesn't have a problem with the things that he does. It's just very, very bizarre. I mean, that's more bizarre than anything else, is the fact that Anna herself doesn't seem to have a problem with any of the things that Jonathan does. Or doesn't seem to think there's anything wrong with what he does, with the things that he does. It's just... I honestly don't know what else to say. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say at this point. Other than it is just absolutely horrendous. It's just shocking. The fact that he does the things he does. And the fact that he's enabling, the fact that people are enabling him to do the things that he does. People are enabling him to do the disgusting and inappropriate things he does every day. It's just not on. People can shame me all they want for having a go at him. But I will have a go at him as much as I want. It's the people, at the end of the day, it's not the haters who are in the wrong. It's the people who are defending Jonathan Joly who are the ones that are in the wrong in all of this. It's not us. It's not the haters that are in the wrong. People are not in the wrong for calling Jonathan out for the things he does. It's the people who are defending him over the things he does that are in the wrong. It's those people that need to take a long hard look at themselves in the mirror. And really think about the sort of person that they're defending. They need to do they really need to go, they really need to fuck up, and they really need to do their fucking research before they start trying to actually defend someone like Jonathan. You can probably tell that most of the people that defended Jonathan haven't done their bloody research on him. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely bloody ridiculous. The fact that people are defending him day in and fucking day out. Every single fucking day. People are trying to make him out to be some great amazing father. He's not a great dad. He's not an amazing dad. He's a fucking evil lowlife. He's a fucking child exploiter who is using his kids for money and views. And he's using his kids as content. Kids are not content. But that's the way Jonathan is treating his kids. He's basically treating them like they're just content. That's all he's doing is he's using his kids as content. He's using them for fucking money and views. How the fuck can people not see that? How the fuck can people not see that Jonathan is exploiting his kids? Are you being fucking serious? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Some people would have to be fucking stupid not to be able to see that. Jesus fucking Christ. Excuse my French. Jesus, I apologise for using your name in vain. But it's just ridiculous. Some people like these days are so fucking stupid. It is actually unbelievable. You know, if people had any fucking common sense, they wouldn't have had any fucking decency. They would not be defending Jonathan. You know, decent people don't defend child exploiters like Jonathan Joly. Decent people like myself, decent people actually call him out for the things he does. Decent people wouldn't defend him or try to justify every single thing he does, or try to condone every single thing that he does. Which is what my issue is. You know, I have an issue with the fact that, with the things Jonathan does. But I've got more of an issue with the fact that people are constantly trying to defend him, and people are constantly trying to justify and fucking condone the things that he does. It's fucking unbelievable. You know, and I won't calm down because, quite frankly, I'm pissed off of it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of people constantly trying to condone and justify the things that he does. Every single fucking day in and fucking day out. You know, people need to wake the fuck up, get their heads out of Jonathan's backside, and start seeing that fucking lowlife for who and what he really is. You know, the sooner people start seeing him for who and what he really is, the better. Simple as that. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you for another one soon. Bye bye.